Alright everybody, this is actually a couple days later. I had to stop working. My camera batteries went dead the other day, and turned out I was, well, I need to go to town to get some parts anyway, so I just go ahead and pick up now where I left off the other day. I actually turned out I was incorrect about these bulbs in the back. There actually were 11, I believe they're 1195 bulbs, and they're working fine now. They're the right bulbs. So obviously the 53s or whatever 55s I bought, the 7 volts, they're not going to last too long in there. And as you saw in the earlier video, part of the video, I was testing my neutral safety switch, and it turned out bad, so I do have another one of those to put in. I'll be doing that in a little while. And one other thing, hey kitty, one other thing that was giving me some fits was the temperature gauge on this car was not reading right. It was kept reading low, and I've had a few of these cars before, and I'm kind of familiar with whether the gauge is supposed to read. The gauge on these, it doesn't have any kind of numbers. It just has cold and hot with a scale in between it. But, you know, it's barely even registering. So I took a look. The temperature senders right here on the 318 and the 273 and all that, they're right here in the intake. That's it. And the old one was, it didn't look too good. I think I might still have it over here. Yep. Kind of looked like it had been hit, kind of bent a little bit. So I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and replace that. I had another one. But sure enough, I fixed it. So the temperature gauge is reading normally now. Still runs nice and pretty cool, but it reads normally. And the other cat over there has got herself a bird. I think it was injured already. She just kind of took opportunity of it. You know, animals are amazing. That cat's over here eating on that bird and all that crap, and just not 15 minutes ago she was over here in the yard puking. Anyway, but right now I'm going to talk about is this gas gauge problem I'm having. As you can see, I got the car jacked up, and there's a drain pan under there, and there's things dripping. That's gas. And I was dreading having to do this. I kind of hoped I'd find my problem elsewhere, but I tested the gauge. The gauge is good. The wiring back to the back is good. So there's nothing else left to check except the sending unit, which is in the gas tank. So I had to get under and take that out, and I'll show you here in a little bit what it looks like, and I'll see what I find wrong with it. But what happened was the gauge was reading kind of erratically to start with. It'd read correctly, and then it'd read down right around empty, and then it'd be back up to where it's supposed to be. Just doing that for about a week, and then all of a sudden one day it just was dead. So the way I tested the gauge was I took my wire off the sending unit back here, and I got a long piece of wire, and I grounded the wire to the sending unit and grounded it to the frame of the car with that wire, and turned the key on just long enough to see if the gauge would swing all the way over, and it did. It headed all the way over, and I didn't let it go all the way over the peg. It's hard on them. Try not to do that, but anyway, once I saw it going up, I knew the gauge is good. So the problem is back here. And that's actually also the way I tested the temperature gauge on these Mopars. These old Chryslers and Plymouths and Dodges, that's the easy way to test the gauge to make sure it's working correctly. And it was. Temperature gauge went all the way over when I grounded it. So gauges are good. So we'll see what's going on in here. It's not a hard job. It's just one of these messy, nasty, stinky jobs there, and it's still kind of dripping a little bit. The sending unit on these cars, it's up on the front side of the tank, just goes into the side of it. So I was hoping I'd run the gas tank down low enough, you know, I wouldn't be losing much gas. I only got about a couple quarts in that pan. So what I'm going to do is I clean that pan out, and I'm going to dump it in my lawnmower. But I think I can probably get ready and go ahead and take that sending unit out now, fish it out of there if I can. I hope I can. Let's see what's up with it. I'm expecting to find something broken in it. So That's one of these jobs you wished you would have done when the tank was out here on the ground. But hindsight's 20/20, I guess. Well, anyway, let me get the camera turned off and I'll get that thing out and we'll see what's up with it. See ya. Alrighty, here's the fuel sending unit. Sits in the tank like this. Got the float here. That's the resistor. That's probably the ground wire there, I guess. No, that's the that's the sending unit wire. Okay, well, it looks like it's all in one piece. Not broke, wire's not broken. One thing I noticed is that there's supposed to be a filter here and there's not. It's gone. So, pretty bad shape, but you know, I don't know if that's worth even trying to replace that right now. So I'm going to do some checks on this and see. So I'm going to take my ohm meter and I'm going to see what the resistance is on this and see if I can get it to show me some evidence of what's wrong with it. See, probably got a sunk float, like got a hole in this float somewhere, or it's got something wrong electrically in here. So I'm going to do some checks on it and I'll get back to you and we'll see what's up with it. Okay guys, got a little test rig set up here. I'm going to be doing some ohm testing, which, as you know, ohm is resistance testing. Now I've got the, of course, just got the negative lead stuck in the ground over here, and then I've got the positive lead attached over here to the connector for the wire, for the harness here. And one thing I noticed I was testing here, that there's a lot more resistance on one side of this, on this side of this connector, on this side of the connector, a lot more resistance than there is over here. As you can see, right now we got about, meter says about 102 ohms. Now what I found was, as I raised this up, this is actually working. See, it goes down to about 48, 45, and the spec is from about 70 to 9.6. So what I'm going to do is, that's interesting. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to set the camera down and I'm going to move this wire over to the inside side of this connection here and see what our ohm readings are. Okay, look at that. I moved it over here to this side, and look at that. It's already went down to the 63.6, which is just actually just a little bit low, but let's move the arm up here and see what we get. See, that's all. They're a little bit low all the way around. That's exactly in spec. See, I move my. Watch the ohm meter over there. So this means that there must be a problem elsewhere in this gauge center unit. See, it's not got any holes in it, which means it doesn't go back down to open, anything like that. Okay, so we're going to need to do a little bit more investigation and see what's going on here. One thing's for sure is I'm going to have to see if there's a way to clean this terminal, because obviously it's got some kind of corrosion or something going on here that's made it read pretty high, but you know, there's really, I don't know if there is, because this is supposed to be a sealed type of a connection. You know, you have to have, it has to be fuel sealed from fuel leakage. So I'll look into that, but I'll get back in a minute or three and we'll see what we got going here. Well, surprisingly everybody, this sending unit checks out. Checks out electrically, checks out mechanically. I took it inside and put it in some water to see if the float had a hole in it. Possibly it does not. There's no bubbles, there's no liquid in it, no nothing. So the float's good. The wiper appears to be good. The resistance is going up and down as it should. It's a little bit high on the outside of the connector, but there's no way to repair that other than just buying a new sending unit, and that's $70. So for now, the only thing I can deduce is, it went all the way down like this. Well, let me rephrase that. The gauge said it was empty, like totally empty. So the only thing I can possibly think of, there might have been something in the tank that got this caught. Maybe this filter that was supposed to be on here might have landed on top of it somehow. So I don't think I can get my hand in there, but right now I'm just going to put it back together and see if it works. That's all you can do. So, if it still won't work, then that'd be a surprise to me. I don't know what's going on there. I just have to maybe end up buying another one, but I don't want to do that if I can help it. So, anyway, let's slap her back together and we'll see what we got. Okay, well, now it's working. So, for how long, who knows, but it is working now. I didn't do anything to it, just took it out and checked it, and I'm thinking, like I said earlier, I'm thinking possibly the float got caught under something. There might be something, that float, that little filter thing might be roaming around in the tank back there, and it might have got on top of the float or something, just, wedged it, but maybe this will fix it for a while. Hopefully. Next up is transmission neutral safety switch repair.